Woo! Great game. Exactly what we had hoped for, and it happened where run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. We're going to run the ball, right? And we did, and the Lions win, beat a really good Arizona team, and it was textbook what the Lions want to do: run the ball, play press man, aggressive defense against a mobile quarterback too. Was awesome. I mean, that's exactly what we wanted to see, and I love everything about this game just because it was textbook from the defensive side of the ball. Really was what I was most excited about, because defensively we've struggled the last few years, right? And that's always been like, oh man, come on. But when the defense plays so good, it makes everything else so great. So great Lions win. Yeah. I thought this was, I mean, look how far we've come as a franchise where we're just like, boy, come on, wish we were better. Like these two comments are just like, come on. We just went on the road and won. And I get it, but at the same time, ran the ball, time of possession, kept the ball out of Kyler's hands. He did nothing. Man, this is good. This is good. I 100% thought Murray would get it going there and start scrambling around like crazy, but he just kept heaving it off his back foot. And it's like, that's who you are, right? That's who he is. And I love that. Same thing right here. Like, we wish went on the road and won in the National Football League. Yeah, I wish we could win by 20. I wish we could win by 50, but that's just not how it works. Okay, 100%. You know, you saw David Montgomery take the ball right down the field, and then you saw Jahmyr Gibbs come back in the second drive, and it was like, man, you know, I was thinking to myself, Montgomery, man, he's running so well, but it's like, no, that's the whole point in this thing. They split. They each get about 100 yards. Like, that is huge. And the next thing you know, Montgomery's fresh at the end and just carrying us, and let's love it. Yeah, exactly. You win. They all count. That's 1-0. I love it. Yeah, 100%. So many injuries defensively. That was a little concerning. I didn't like that at all. Injuries all over the place, really, and that's what's crazy. And so I'm just happy to see that we get the win, because I think there's a lot of injuries. We're gonna have to figure out what's going on. Yep, that's right. And you know, I felt like the offense got really cute a couple times and just didn't need to. So I think overall it was good. Hey
there, how you doing? Go Lions.
Did you watch the Lions game today?
Oh, did I? Did you by any chance watch the game?
No. But I'm
Yeah,
gonna
right.
guess. I'll make some guesses.
Let's make some guesses on what happened. Of course I watched the game. Of course I did. Felt like I was watching a U of M football game or something.
What'd you think just about the offense, first and foremost?
Oh, I don't think you want to hear what I think about the offense right now. I think about the offense is like, just run play action. Just run play action. It's okay. It's okay to run it. You know, that's about it. But here's what's nice about the offense. They won with Goff still not doing. Goff was great in the first half. In the second half, the offense bogged down. We're still winning games.
Yeah.
Without the offense firing on all cylinders. Not even close. It's kind of cool.
But I did think that is our offense right there. And like you said, yeah, probably mix in some more play action shots would just tie it all together and it'd be all great. But I love seeing under center, running the ball. Then from there you can do things. But you know, Laporta was injured. There's a lot of injuries that were out there. I think we kind of know, we kind of didn't. And so offensively and defensively. But yeah, I just love offensively. It looks so much better, so much more under control when we're running the ball. And then when we did go in shotgun a few times, that's when it got weird. And the only thing about the offense, I don't know, I love your thoughts on this, but some of the like orbital motion and a lot of things. It's just like, this is just not necessary. We're not a gimmicky team. We don't have to be. If we're not good, then that's what you do. And you're trying to get a little cute, but we just don't need to do that stuff. And that caused problems, I thought.
Yeah, I'm a much bigger fan of pre-snap motion than I am of motion to try and throw the defense off. Like, how many times are we going to run Jameson Williams on a fake end around after the end around didn't work to try and fool the defense? It's like, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
But hey, at the end of the day, a W is a W. I think you hit something. You hit the nail on the head. Sam Laporta. Dan Campbell talked about how we weren't game planning for Sam Laporta in the first 2 games because they were afraid he wouldn't make it through the game with his hamstring. Now in this game, you can tell he was part of the game plan. It fully opened up the offense. And then when he got hurt right before the second half, you could very clearly see in the second half when we didn't score that exactly what Dan Campbell was talking about. You get 40% of the game plan in for one guy, and then you can't run that anymore.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah. And what'd you think of the okay, this guy got me because I'm right. You're right.
Oh, he got you.
But
Got him.
that was well called, well played, all that worked to perfection. I love
The
that.
hook and ladder. How nice was that by St. Brown? Just the quick catch pop.
Yeah.
Catch pop. That's not easy to do, man. That is
No.
not easy to get that control that fast.
No.
And then throw it out there. So nice.
I thought that was awesome. What was your thoughts on the defense? Gotta talk on the defense here. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, my thought on the defense is we're starting to look more and more like a top 10 NFL defense, aren't we?
Yeah.
I mean, the Arizona Cardinals just blitzed the Rams last week. I mean, just blitzed the Rams. And we came in there, and this was similar to the Bucs game in the second half offensively. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
Where it was like we just kept giving them chance after chance after chance after chance, and the defense just kept saying no. They stopped them over and over and over again. That defense was phenomenal at all levels.
Yeah.
At all levels.
It looks good. In
the secondary, especially.
Yeah, we're flying around. We're playing the game. You know, this is what, and people got to remember this. Whenever you're up in the past, it was always like you went prevent, and that was what you did. You're just like, but teams were like, okay, and they just went. And so one of the things that it makes me nervous, but I love it, is played our game the entire game, even when we were up 10. Just played press man. It's like, man, I knew, Arnold's down with a weird knee thing, and there he is. Press up on Marvin Harrison. It's like, well, all right. Like, I don't love that, but I love it way more than the prevent days where he was just like, start backing up, so we got to remember that, because there's probably going to be a play here and there, because we're going to be up on teams this year where they're going to maybe hit a big one. It's like, what are we doing? It's like, we're playing our deep. We're not going to just let teams get right back into it and make it this close game at the end. So I loved everything all the way from the start of the game to the end for the defense. You said it, all 3 levels. I see it. I see what we want to do. This is big time and really important, because you said it, the offense is not fully clicking, but that combination, the punter today, the defense, we run the ball, kind of get stalled out. Doesn't matter, because we're going to pin them inside the 10. Defense just plays strong, hard. We get the ball back. We run it a little bit. Okay, we get stalled out. Doesn't matter. Punt it inside the 10. I mean, fine. That's football, right? And so if it works, it works. So I just thought the defense really made it work today, and the whole thing came together.
We ran the ball. We won the field position game, right? And the defense was fantastic. And I don't know about you. Tell me how you felt when they kept getting the ball over and over again. Did you feel confident? Like, all right, our defense is just going to get another stop. Or did you feel really nervous? Tell me how you felt through that, because I know how I felt, but let me know what you thought.
I really felt like we're going to get another stop, is how I felt. I did not, which is shocking. Usually it's like, oh boy, especially with a mobile quarterback. I was just like, he's going to start running, but I just, I was feeling pretty confident.
Yeah. And by the way, same. Same. It wasn't one of those things where they got the ball back and I'm like, oh, we're going to lose.
Right.
We're going to lose. No, it was like, all right, we'll get another stop. Maybe it's because, we kept pinning them inside their own 10-yard line. But it was just like, no, we'll get another stop. We'll be fine, because that defense was flying around. They were all over the place.
Dude, that defense, you come across a few of these, but I feel like it's always Arizona. I feel like it's always when they're in their black uniforms. It looks like they've got 11 strong safeties out there. They're all the exact same body type. No one's big.
The
no
black
one's
uniforms
small.
for sure. Yeah.
They're all 6'1", 195, and they can all fly. And it's just like, what are these guys? And they've got, like I said, the black uniforms. Every single guy looks sweet as can be. And you're like, man, this isn't the Arizona Cardinals I grew up with. Like, what are these guys doing?
What are these guys doing?
Yeah, it's so for us to be able to run the ball, and that's the thing with Goff, man. Man, he made some huge throws. That's the thing. He made some really good throws, but man, when he starts improvising just a touch, it's like not good.
Until he scrambles for the first down.
Yeah, exactly. Oh,
it's so funny, because I was thinking about how we were going to go live after, and through the whole first half, I was preparing. I was going to get on here and I'm going to be like, so do we still hate Jared Goff? Because he's 14 of 14.
Right.
I mean, he's just killing it. I think he went into half like 14 of 15, something like that.
yeah.
It's like, are we still worried about Goff? And then the second half happened and it wasn't great. But when he needed to be there, 3rd and 12, hits Amon-Ra St. Brown, great throw, and then actually scrambles for a first down, ices the game. He was there when we absolutely needed him to be there.
Yeah, that's you hit it, but that was what we did last year.
Yep.
When we had to have it, man, we got it more often than not. And that was this is a road win in the National Football League. You take these. I just saw a comment like that was ugly. Like, that drives me nuts.
That's great.
That drives me insane. Here it is. Because look how far we've come. We couldn't win a game just a few years ago. So it's like, absolutely 2-1. We'll take it. I think the Buccaneers game was just a one-off. I really do. And I mean, you saw they got crushed today. So weird.
It is weird. And here's the thing. Ugly wins. Was it? Like, do you think Dan Campbell thought that was ugly? Do you think Aaron Glenn thought that was ugly? Like, we think it's ugly because as fans, what do we want to see? We want to see points. We want to see smooth play. We want to see first downs. We want to see bombs to JMO. We want to see Gibbs breaking free, which, by the way, Gibbs did break free a couple times. But we want to see this offense, and we want to win 37-20.
Yep.
Right? Like, that's what a pretty win looks like. That defense today was absolutely beautiful. That was a beautiful defense. So I'm gonna pull some stats up here in a second, but I understand that it is ugly, and quite frankly, because of just the nature of football, like, you don't go to training camp and see Jared Goff throw a pick and the fans start screaming in excitement. No, they scream in excitement when JMO catches a 45-yard touchdown.
Yep.
Like, we don't, but the defense is doing great things all the time too, and we need to understand that.
Yes. And you pull up some stats. I like this. Rams, Cowboys, and Niners all 1-2. Lions 2-1. We're right there, feeling good. And I think you look around the league, and I think this is a great time to do that real quick. Is like, you look around the league, and the surprise team Vikings are like, oh crap, okay, Vikings. But then you look at the Bears, it's like, and they truly are not getting it. So that's great. So Packers are good. So there's a lot to love right now if you're a Lions fan. I mean, we're right there. We're right in great shape. So love it.
Absolutely. And here's the kind of things that I love looking at. Kyler Murray threw the ball 34 times for 207 yards. Right? Mm-hmm. Goff threw it 11 less times for 8 more yards. They had 18 carries for 77 yards. Right? When you combine those, that's 284 total yards. That's not a lot. And a lot of that was just them having the ball in the fourth quarter, trying. I mean, they were at half. They weren't even at 100, I don't think, or they were just over 100. Look at this, running the ball, 187 yards. This is the NFL. This isn't Big Ten football.
Right.
Like, what are we talking about? Like, that's beautiful. St. Brown still got his. Like, Montgomery and Gibbs got theirs. Like, okay, we're doing just fine.
Yep.
We're doing just fine. That defense is solid.
Do you remember when that was such a big deal? We didn't have a 100-yard rusher for years and years, and that was such a big deal. And now it's just 2 guys basically today. Thank
Yeah.
you.
And by the way, third straight game. Every game this year, Montgomery and Gibbs have both gone over 100 total or all-purpose yards
Oh,
in the
yeah,
game.
thank you.
Like, okay, I'll take that. Thank you very
That's right.
much.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, man, it when
Yeah.
I look at this team, I see what the vision was defensively, and it's like, okay, thank you. It's working. We look
Mhm.
strong. We look physical. Even, we're like semi a little dirty almost. Like, I don't know if you noticed, but we're just kind of doing stuff after the whistle. Like Anzalone does it all the time, and he's like climbing off guys. And I don't know. It's just like, all right, this defense
True.
is finally has the players, and that man, that is awesome to win these games when the offense isn't scoring 42 is huge.
Yeah. Yeah. How do you feel about this one though? Let's just talk for a second because I think it's very weird. Minnesota Vikings,
Hmm.
3-0. Like they're the team that we're all like, they're out of it this year.
Yeah,
And
they
we're
suck.
all and of course we talk about like, oh, they're gonna be a sneaky good team, and it's just like, well, they're not that sneaky, they're just good. Right. And here you have the division standings. You feeling good about this one with who we've played so far? Two playoff opponents, then the Cardinals, um, going and beating them on the road. Do you feel good about where we're at with the division right now?
Yeah, feel great. Feel like the Vikings, that one doesn't make sense. And so until I guess 3 games is enough to see and be like, okay, hey,
I
you
see
guys
you.
are good. But at the same time, it doesn't make enough sense. So I'm very hopeful that they're not as good as they look. But yeah, Bears are who we thought they were.
The Bears
Packers
are
are
who
who
we
we thought they were. But
thank
Vikings,
you,
it's like,
Bears. Thank
oh,
you, Bears.
yeah. Vikings, though, a little weird. What about
Yeah,
you?
it doesn't make sense. Well, it's just confusing, right? Like that one was a big W. Like that one
Yeah.
was a big W for them over the Texans. They
Oh,
just like
yeah.
just destroyed them. But and they beat the Giants like okay, who cares, right? But then it's 49ers and it's Texans. It's like okay. Like that's for
Chill.
real. I feel good about where we're at. I think the Vikings are going to be very interesting. So it's funny. I was hearing a thing. Their D coordinator basically said he came to Minnesota and his whole goal was to build a defense that could stop the Shanahan like coaching tree, the
Mm.
McVay, Shanahan, everything like that.
Yep.
And it's working. So they just beat the 49ers. They just beat the Texans, two of those, Shanahan and one of his disciples, right? And so we don't have that. That's not our coaching tree.
Right.
And so I think that's why you've seen us been able to take it to the Vikings defensively, or to their defense. So I still feel good about our matchup against the Vikings. I really do. But I think they're the second or third best team in this division now. The Bears are actually the team that's showing that they're still at the bottom. Thank
Yes,
you.
which is just great. But yeah,
Sports Talk Bears. What's up, Sean?
I love that. I love to see that the Bears aren't doing good, and I love to see the Vikings. It's like, okay, fine. And
Yep.
let's just take a little look around the league real quick, just a little
Yep.
look see.
Yeah. Take a peek.
Jets, Patriots, who knows? Who cares? Browns, Giants. Giants get a big win.
Can I
Almost
say
again.
something?
Yeah.
Malik Neighbors is greater than Marvin Harrison Jr. Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to get his. He's going to be
Yeah.
a great wide receiver. Malik Neighbors is, I mean, he's got that Jets. He's got that Justin Jefferson vibe to him. Like he's built different.
Okay.
Yep.
I love it.
Sorry. Continue.
No, Eagles Saints. This is a couple teams that we're going to be
That was an interesting one.
battling out for playoff seeding. I mean, listen to me, but I mean, we're going to be. What were your thoughts on that game?
Yeah, that was an Eagles defensive victory. I mean, in the second half, I think Devontae Smith got hurt, so they're down AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. They have they're not supposed to win that game. They get the ball with like a minute left, and Dallas Goedert goes like for a 70-yarder down to the
Yeah.
5-yard line. But basically, they have Saquon Barkley, and Saquon Barkley is the reason you beat me in fantasy football this weekend. So I hate you for that.
Mhm.
And thank you very much. There it is.
Thank
Now
you.
everybody knows you beat me in fantasy football. I'm the second highest scorer in our league, and you beat me. Thank you.
Mhm.
0-1 is 0-1.
0-1. I know. It's just a tough. It's nasty. The league.
Yes.
The GT puts it
It's one.
perfect. Caleb Williams can see Sokaki. I'm happy to see it. I'm happy to see him doing poorly. That's how I feel.
I am. And by the way, can I say the opposite? Like, I'm happy to see Sam Darnold doing well.
Yeah.
Like the journeyman, he gets into the right system and he's playing well. At one point, we thought he got hurt. Like, it could have been a really brutal knee injury. He comes back into the game just a couple plays later, and the whole Vikings crowd's just thrilled to have him. And it's like, good for that guy.
Yep.
You know, I'm happy to see Jaden Daniels doing well for the Commanders. Like, but Caleb Williams, yeah, I'm happy to see him doing poorly. I know that sounds awful.
The
Oh
Vikings.
gosh.
Love that. Okay. The kicker missed the extra point. Concerns, don't care, one off. What are your thoughts on that?
I'm not too concerned about it. It's interesting with the first extra point, he almost missed it to the right as well.
Yep.
I don't know if you noticed that. And then the second one, it went a little further to the outside. And then the third one, it was still a little right. It was still trailing right. But I honestly think it might be one of those weird things about kicking on natural grass. I know that sounds silly. But he's been really good. Like, we won the game, right? And we won the game. We were up by a touchdown. 1 point's 1 point. I know it can make a big, big difference. He's been good. And like, this is exactly what Campbell was talking about. Like, we're going to stick with him, right? And Phipp, right, was talking like, we're going to stick with him. You see a lot of kickers that struggle through the year and a lot of kickers that end up being great kickers if teams are just patient.
Mm-hmm.
Like, kickers don't make 100% of their kicks.
No. And same. It's fine. And I think he's going to be good. I don't miss Prater. Where are you at with that?
I feel weird about this one, and I don't know why. I don't know why I am the way that I am, but I miss having a good kicker.
Sure.
I don't miss Prater.
Uh-huh.
Does that make any sense? I don't know if it was the way he kicked. I don't know what it was. Like, he didn't exude confidence, even though he was phenomenal. And maybe that's just because there will never be another Lion player that can live up to Jason Hansen, the GOAT.
Yep. That's exactly how I feel. Is like, he's good. He could boom it. But he made me way more nervous than he should have. And it's like, well, you know what? Maybe that's just every kicker, I guess, probably.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But I think that was it too. He didn't look at all athletic. And I know he's a kicker, but I mean, Justin Tucker looks like, what's up? Get out there. He's going to kick a. Prater just didn't look athletic. He looked, okay. You nailed it perfectly.
Let's talk about this one. Let's throw this to you. Let's talk Seahawks next week. They say we have to win this one. It was for 2, 3, 4 years in a row. Remember that? It felt like we were going to Arizona every single week and we were losing. Now the last 2 or 3 years, we play Seattle every year. Not every week. It was Arizona every year. Now we play Seattle every year and we lose in a shootout.
Yep.
How are you feeling about this game? They're coming off defensively inspiring, I guess, but playing a Tua-less Miami team. They beat them 17-3. Honestly, Miami never really put up a fight. What do you think about the 3-0 Seahawks next week?
Yep, you nailed it. I think playing them every year and losing heartbreaking fashion too. And then it was something with the Pete Carroll effect. He kind of had that Mark D'Antonio thing with Michigan State. Play Michigan.
Whoa.
Yeah, going deep here.
Yeah, like a defensive-minded coach that all of a sudden the offense was nuts. I get it.
Yeah, what's this weird thing? And it was Pete Carroll's over there, and you're like, well, he sucks. He's old. And what's his, Geno Smith's no good. And you're like, yeah, we're gonna kill these guys. And remember, they're just throwing 3-yard, 5-yard pass, 3-yard pass, 7-yard run. And it's just like
Geno never runs until he plays out.
So what I think in this is, it's just like their first test and a great opportunity for our defense to really show way how improved we are, because you can see it, but it's like, this will really be a nice way to go up against Geno Smith, guy that's just picked us slowly apart. I'm really excited for it.
Yeah, I hope I know this sounds bad. I hope Walker's not back yet. Kenneth Walker.
Oh
I
yeah,
think Charbonnet is a much easier back to game plan for. I think Kenneth Walker is just so versatile and just a beast. His contact balance is just insane. It always makes me nervous, but this isn't the same Seattle team offensively. I think they're starting to figure out how to throw to DK Metcalf, which is good for them. But right now, with the new OC coming over from Washington, Grubb or whatever his name is, they're just not quite there yet. Their offense actually has looked like our offense through the year. They've won their games how we've won our games. Like they have bursts on offense, big plays, and then nothing.
yeah,
And they did that again today, like large periods of nothing. And Miami has nothing to write home about on defense. They're just not.
right.
And so I think our defense could absolutely have our way with them. This is a totally different offense. Yes, there are people that are going to remember things that worked against us, but also Aaron Glenn, this is a different defense.
Mm-hmm.
Like he is showing that he is a good defensive coordinator. Nobody's calling for his job right now, are they?
Right.
Like he is a good defensive coordinator when he has talent. And that's what I love to see. That's what I really do love to see. We've gone against 3 good offenses, and none of them have lit it on fire.
That's right.
None of them.
That's and you see guys like Brian Branch flying around making
Concussed
plays.
Brian Branch, by the
Oh,
way. Oh,
Brian
that was
Branch.
nasty. That was nasty. Did you see that hit with
Which
him and
one?
McBride? Toward the end of the game, he comes up, hits McBride, and then they just lay back to back. Just
Oh,
both of
yes.
them just basically passed out because they gave each other a concussion.
There's
Like, oh my goodness.
we're gonna have to really get and see where we're at with this injury thing. But if we're come out of it semi okay, I love what the defense is doing. I man, Kirby Joseph is one that I'm like, is he really that good? Or I don't know what
Same.
my thought is with him. And man, the guy goes up, he makes plays, he's physical. I've had not much bad to say about Kirby this year.
This year, Kirby's been fantastic,
Mm-hmm.
right? I mean, like last year, toward the end of the year, especially, he was starting to struggle. And I think it came out later. I mean, he was hurt. He ended up having surgery in the offseason, and he looks fast again. He looked slow last year, and he's making plays. He's making plays again. I mean, that throw that Kyler threw was really dumb. He almost had another interception, by the way, but he and Branch collided.
Yep.
But that's what our defense was doing all day. Kyler had all day in the pocket, and they could not get separation. They could not get separation. Those wide receivers on our DBs. Our DBs were phenomenal. Think about our defense for a second, right? The leader of the defense, Anzalone's out.
Mm-hmm.
And then early on, fairly early, Aleem McNeil in the first half, I think it was, gets hurt, right? And you're down him. Derek Barnes gets hurt. And all of a sudden, you're like, oh, man, what are we going to do with this? Arnold's got the bad knee. Defense never stops winning. Like, and I don't know if you noticed this, but our 3 linebackers for the majority of the game were Jalen Reeves-Maybin, Jack Campbell, and Ben Neiman. That's who we were playing. And
Dude, Ben Neiman,
it's like we had our starters in.
Neiman, you're looking at Neiman just
Neiman,
thinking,
whatever,
okay, he's in, right?
Yeah, he's in.
Yes. And so, yeah, right. Imagine just if we get Anzalone back from that defense that was on the field at the end there. So, yeah, this is big because we just haven't seen a good defense in, man, I mean, I don't know, like, right, 10 years, that 2014 and Ndamukong Suh.
Yep.
I'm just making up a number, but it's been about that where it's like,
no, you're actually correct.
okay,
That defense was phenomenal. Our offense was kind of rough that year, but that defense was like a top 5 defense, got us to the playoffs.
okay, and we have not had a defense that then, obviously we all know we don't have to go through it again, but you're
gonna talk about Patricia, aren't you?
Defenses were. Do you remember? I mean,
that's
what we had to watch. We just had to watch this outsmarting ourselves to outsmart, and you're just like, oh god. And we
will play this system. I don't care what the talent is. We will play this system.
Yep.
That was awful.
And Darius Slay, you're traded. Get out of here.
Yeah. Oh, you think you're an elite corner? Get out. Yeah. No, I'm just a top 10 corner. Is that cool? Can I be on your team? No, you think you're a top 3. You don't belong.
Yep. you're gone. So we don't have anybody. We have nobody. And you're just like, Jamie Collins, get out there.
Jamie Collins, let's give you 10 million so you can retire because you don't care. You just want to collect a check.
Yes. Yes.
You want to collect a check.
Let's just look at this. Haven't heard you guys say anything about the touchdown that was robbed by the refs. Nope.
Do you know what he's talking about?
2-minute warning. Hit it.
2-minute warning. Yep. 2-minute warning. So here's the deal. I don't know if the 2-minute warning is the same as the game, like the play clock, right? Like the game clock, I guess it is, or the play clock, because with the play clock, they need to look at it, hit 0, look down, and if the ball's still not snapped, then they blow the whistle.
Yes.
Right? I don't know if it's like that for the 2-minute warning, because the 0, it was almost simultaneous. We got away with one.
Mm-hmm.
Am I wrong here?
Now, we did. Let's say we did, right? And I do think, and I was trying to look at it both ways. I really was, where I was like, all right, if I'm an Arizona fan, am I just losing my mind here? And it's like, okay, like you said, the first thing I need to know and I don't know is what's the rule, the eye rule.
Yeah,
there. And then, so let's just assume
there were whistles.
0, I do think it hit 0 right before it was snapped. But let's just say it was like a bang bang, we're playing, whistles were going. So it's a versus, you know the days of like when it would be a fumble and then a clear recovery, but it was like whistles blown. It's like, well, the play's already going and then they stopped it. This was like plays, it doesn't happen. So I get it. If I'm on the other side, I'm probably finding a way to, defend this and be like, no way. But it's like it hit 0. The whistles were blowing like in Goff. I don't know. I just feel like it wasn't as dramatic as it seems.
Can we talk about when the whistle was blown? Does it make a difference? Like, does it make a difference if the whistle was blown before the ball was snapped or as the ball was snapped, or if the whistle was blown before Goff got hit and the ball got tipped and picked? Because the whistle was very clearly blown before Goff got hit.
Yes.
Right? So that part of the play is dead. But if people are arguing that the whistle has to be blown like even before that, which is like what, 1 second from the time the ball was snapped to the time he was hit, 1.5 or something like that. That's not that long. That's okay. There it is, right? That was the 1.5. That's how long it took him to get there. So I do think it's interesting. I'll take it. I'll take it every single day of the week.
Oh my gosh.
I still think we would have won the game.
100%. And we've been through so many bad calls. Are you kidding me? I will never apologize for ever. Yep. I love it. So
how surprised were you that they turned over the first down by Kyler?
Dude, let's talk about that.
Yeah, let's talk about that one, because I think they got it right, but I never thought they were going to overturn that thing.
It just shocks me because I'm getting mad because I'm watching it. I'm like, if you look, you can see, because it wasn't a great angle and it wasn't like the perfect, but it's like, let's just look at this. His shin has to be down and he's short.
Sliding.
And I was just starting to get mad because I was like, but they're just gonna be like, nah. And they're just gonna go with it. And that drives me nuts because it's like we have replay and challenges for a reason. Just get it right. I'm looking here, just do it. And I'm just like, but they won't. It's like, it's just part of the game. And I'm just talking to myself. And then they actually do it. And it's like, that is why we have replay, right? So man, I could go on and on about how replay is so weird because we use it, but we really don't. It's like, I don't have enough. And it's like, we have replay, but we have to go on what was called on the field.
Yeah.
And so anyway, that was the huge part of the game.
Huge. And the fact that they can now do the thing and they're actually starting to rely on it where they can sync up different cameras at the same time.
Yes.
Right. And you're just like, oh, so now you see he hasn't even reached the ball out when his shin's down. When his knees down, when his hips down, whatever it is, right? And it's like he reaches it out right after he's down, where you can't see that from the camera angle. Now, should the official have been able to see it? Sure. But it doesn't matter. Aaron Glenn made that call on the sideline right away, didn't he? You see him right there pointing. But you're right. I think the challenge system is better than no challenge system, obviously.
Yep.
Instant replay is better than no instant replay. I think we've gotten closer to getting it right all the time. But yeah. And Samuel, you are right, dude. Dog in a tuxedo.
Well,
We usually get challenges wrong. Dan Campbell has not had a great challenge track record, at least according to me. But maybe it was one of those things where it's like, if you're 500 on third down and the opposing team's 500, but it feels like they've converted every third down and you've never converted a third down. It might just be homer bias. I don't know,
exactly. But yep.
because I don't have any stats to back it up.
I love.
I bet I can look it up. Keep talking.
No, I love the 2 camera sync, and I love. Yeah, it's like if we're gonna do this, and we got cameras, and we got 600 cameras on the field, let's use them. Let's do it. Let's get it exactly. Let's get it exactly right. And
Yeah.
and so that was huge. Yeah, I love that. Yes, Matthew, put off under center. Because even when we're in shotgun, just this game, it was like, it was okay. I mean, it's fine. And you can't go under center. It's fine to go shotgun a little bit, but even those plays were like, yeah. But they worked because we were under center for the majority of it. Play actions were there. So love it.
He's 6-9 challenges from what I'm finding.
Oh, okay.
7-9 now.
How about when we were up 10, getting close to the 2-minute warning? Or no, it was like 4 minutes to go or something, and where it's like 4th and 2, and we're getting ready to go for it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, no way.
On our side of the 50.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm
I was like, don't be stupid.
We're doing. I mean, we're doing this.
What about? Yeah. Do you think it's because of the missed extra point? When we went for it on like our own 35 on 4th and 1, like, isn't the reason we have Bates to kick 50+ yard field goals? How did you feel about that one?
I liked going for it, but I didn't like the call. And however, man, I would really like to see, hey, let's just kick it. At some point during the season where it's like, but I don't know. Well, how about you? I like going for it. Didn't mind going for it. Just the call was a little wonky. That's all.
Yeah, I didn't hate going for it. I would like to see, like, here's the thing. I watched all the 1:00 games, right? NFL Sunday Ticket's a beautiful thing. And it is amazing how often coaches run their kickers out there from 55+. And they're just making them, and it's just free points. And it's like, I would take those free points. 23-13 would have felt a lot better than 20-13. But like as you were coming down the stretch. But overall, it's fine.
You're exactly right. It feels like, just go out there and do it real quick, guys, and we'll just get 3 points. And it just feels like nothing. I agree.
Dan Campbell's like 55% success rate on 4th down, right? So is Bates' success rate 55% from 52? I think it is. I think it's actually considerably more.
Considerably more. Probably.
Yeah.
Probably 4 out of 5 he makes.
Yeah, he's probably 80% from there. Yeah. I think he's probably 80% from anywhere. I think is kind of how he kicks at this point in his career.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. He's
80% from 62. He's 80% from 32.
Yep. So that is a great way to say it.
And so that's where I'm kind of at. Like, if you have a kicker who has the leg and you have I get it. It's only 1 yard. If it was 4th and 3, 4th and 4, definitely kick the field goal, right? Definitely kick it. 4th and 4 and more, 4th and 3 and more. Definitely kick it. 4th and 1, I get it. I'm not upset.
No, not upset. And I love it. And it's like, let's just do it. It's fine. But I would love to see Bates go out there and hit a 60-yarder.
What do you think about this one? Why do we keep getting shut down in the second half? Still got the third quarter woes. I have a thought. What's your thought on this, Chris? You got anything on this?
I don't really have a thought on this. I would just like us to. Yeah, it would be weird if we started to play well in the third quarter. We haven't seen it in like a year and a half.
Yeah, I know, right? And I think one of the biggest things that I noticed in this game was 2 things. I've already talked about the Laporta thing. So if you were on this early on, like, Laporta being out was huge. That's a big part of the game plan, and that completely changes things up. What I think is frustrating is I don't see us layering what we did in the first half into the second half. So if you run for over 100 yards in the first half and you're sitting there in the third quarter and you're getting close to the end of the third quarter. And I think we already had like 145, 48 rushing yards, something like that. Right. But you're not running play action. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't figure out. I thought Goff did a better job of taking, what was given to him in this game instead of trying to force everything. But man, like, help a guy out.
Mhm.
Like, just straight drop back passing. He can do it, especially if you spread it out. He's actually very comfortable in that. But help him out. Run some play
Yeah.
action.
That
Yeah.
I felt like we play action a lot more last year. We
Yeah.
got back into it this game, which really helped. But yeah, man, Goff just back there. He needs that. It's so good for him. Him just dropping back, because if he goes read one, it's not there. Read two, it's not there. Then it's just like, yeah,
Yeah.
dude. One of those plays, he looked like he was gonna escape out to the right, and he took about one step, and he got tackled. And I was just like, dude, he cannot move. So we got to move him, but he can move. But he's good on the run, though. He can throw on the run. It's just not. He's not going to create that. He's going to, but play actions and rollouts is great. So
Yeah. Okay. I was looking at a stat and I was like, oh, we were wrong, because I thought I was looking at play action, but it was just passing percentage. I couldn't find it. Sorry. Sorry. I tried. We don't have any minions, so we don't have people running and getting stats for us right now.
no,
Maybe I should ask Chat GPT or something.
just give me a stat about anything. Well, this has been great. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thanks,
Make sure you
everybody.
subscribe. If you are on here and you've not subscribed, just hit it. I don't even know what it does. Just looks
Not really.
cool.
Yeah. I mean, it'll put our video in front of you more likely next time, I think. Don't
That's right.
fully understand the YouTube algorithm.
Hit
I don't
that
think I'm supposed to.
subscribe button. Let's.
Are you doing it?
I'm doing it. Just not as long. I swear to you, I'm not doing it as long, because it's a little on the corny side. But get ready,
Oh, it's
everybody.
corny. Let's go. Less people here in this one too. The last game was, or 2 games ago, I think is when we did it. 2 weeks ago.
Exactly. This is our live subs right now. So if you subscribe, it'll just boom, it'll pop right up. If you unsubscribe, it'll pop up. Don't do that.
Watch it go to 283, 22,280,
Go to
281, 280. Don't do that. Like,
280, 279.
Yeah. Maybe all 125 people in here are just loyal subscribers.
Yeah. And
Oh, 123 people in here.
There it was. Yep.
There it is. Well done. Well done. I get it. Nice. You're funny.
Why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you?
If we lose
you think
another
it was
one,
him because he literally put peace?
All right. Well,
get that out of here. Oh, we're back.
Thank you, Kurt.
We're back.
Oh my gosh. All right. Yep. Just subscribe real quick, and then we're out of here. We'll see everybody
every day this week. There
thanks,
it goes.
Avectus.
Avectus, I came back. You left. You abandoned us, Avectus. Look at Kurt. I didn't do it. I didn't do it.
It's live, Avectus. It is live. You hit that, it'll show up. Which is pretty amazing. What we're doing here. You're subscribing. It's on here. All right. Let's get out of here.
It's almost like a phone call or something.
Yeah.
Like they can do it immediately. It's like an email. It's an immediate digital response.
You remember E-Bombs World?
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Some funny, a lot of no good.
Yeah. I was gonna say,
those were the college days, weren't they?
Oh man, we were just going back and forth on the college days when the internet, you were just like, what is out here? What
is this?
Yeah.
Mom, get off the phone.
Yeah. Oh geez. All right, let's go. See you later, man.
All right, see ya.
See ya.